Okay, I looked up and I saw that my recording had stopped because I had reached my limit. So I just continued to put the score tape on. So you saw where I was doing the long sides. Okay, then I just took and I put across each end here. I went ahead and did score tape. Oh, I need a piece inside here. Again, I did my perimeters so that I could have it to where it would stick so I could keep working. And then I will put some glue right here in the center to help it stick down. After all, it is a drawer and it is going to be sliding in and out. So come on. I wanted to make sure that this here was stuck down really good. Okay, so I am using glue in the center. You could put more score tape in there too if you want. It's really up to you. It just doesn't matter. So when I realized it, I had already had my other drawer pretty much done when I realized it. So I took the paper off because the drawer is important and I wanted you to really see how to do this. So I'm going to take off this piece, and just the two bottom, the ones on the very bottom for the drawer. I'm going to take off this one and this one. That leaves me with the tape to hold it down. So before I set it all the way down, I'm going to set it down lightly. I'm going to let go of it. And then I'm going to push up my ends and see this needs to come in here up against your drawer this way. And so does the other end. So the main thing to do before you set it all the way down is make sure that these pieces fold up without binding on anything. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to set it down, stick it down. Okay, so there's that. So that continues working. So then these side pieces here, they come up and fold over here. Now you want to kind of check them and make sure they don't stick up above the chipboard here, like this one does a little bit, sticks up above the chipboard. If anything, you want it below the chipboard. So if you need to take and cut off a sliver like this, feel free to do so. It's not going to show, so it doesn't really matter. So if it folds up like this and you can see the chipboard showing a little bit, don't worry about it. Rather it be a little bit shorter than too tall. Too tall just really screws things up. A little bit shorter works. So check both sides and make sure that your chipboard is not going to, or your paper is not going to stick up above your chipboard. And then go ahead and peel. Now I'm going to peel these, and I'm not going to, when I stick them up there, it's just going to kind of be a temporary and to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to get the sides off of both of them. We're just doing this. We're not doing the very top. We're just going to do below the score line there so that we have it to go. Okay, because these go in first. Okay, so I'm going to take and fold this up, fold it here, push it in here, make sure it's down below the chipboard, and then I'll stick it down. Just the side. I haven't smoothed this side down yet. I don't want this to stick yet. Okay, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And these two pieces should overlap each other, like the 1/2 inch that we had scored it originally. Okay, so then I'm going to turn this around to me. And again, I'm going to put my hand in here to hold it. I'm going to pull this very tight so that it goes down. Then I can smear this, and I try to smear it from the bottom up. I want to go up. So I start with my thumbs down here at the bottom. I start with my thumbs here at the bottom, and I work up this way with it when I stick it down. So I'm going to take this side here. Again, I'm going to put my hand in there. I'm going to pull this over and stick it out here because there's adhesive out there. So that's all stuck down. See, this still, let's see if I can show you. This still is not stuck in. See how it's open there? I still haven't stuck that down because I want to take my fingers and put them on the bottom and roll them up. I want that to go up. And then once you get it stuck down, then you can do it. Again, put your hand inside there and kind of use it to put pressure against your bone folder. You want to get these down. Okay, then we're going to take, and I've pulled the tape off here so they're still sticky. So if you want, you could put a piece of if you put a piece of this paper cover back on there, it will make it so it won't stick. You want to, again, test the waters with this. You want to put fold this up and make sure that you don't need to trim anything off. This side looks good. That side's got a little bit of an overhang right there. Not much of one, but a little bit. And I think I'm going to trim just a tad bit off of that. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to lightly take a sliver off of there so that when it goes up there, I'd rather see a little bit of it. Let's see if I can show it to you. I got a new camera on order. Hopefully that takes care of some of my problem. So you're going to have a little bit there, but it's going to be, you know, it's a drawer. It'll be okay. I can show you how to cover that up in the event that you've got enough room. And we're going to go into that next. So then I'm going to pull these off, and I'm going to take off just the tape below, not the top piece of tape, just the tape below. And again, I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm going to push it up. I want it to seal going up. Make sure that you go up with it. That way you don't end up with any kind of a bubble down here. And then, again, take your bone folder, flat side, and go around your side, your corners, whatever you want to call this part, so that it goes ahead and smooths itself out. And then again, we're going to test this side. This side over here is good. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and peel these two pieces off. And then I'm going to put this up against there. Okay, so we're good to go here. Now we have, there's our drawer with our pieces sticking up. Now again, we're going to do like we did on the casing. Fold these down, get a crease on them, and I'm just going to fold them down and run my bone folder along the edges. Make sure it's all the way down. Oops. Just crease it down this way. And if you mismeasured, like obviously I did on this one, when I cut this one out, on my second one, it's going to be okay, because by folding it over like this, as long as you don't peel that off, by folding this over and doing it with the bone folder, where you can put some pressure on it, you'll be good. It'll create a new crease along this outer edge for you to fold in like this. So it's not a problem. Okay. Okay, so I have all those folded down. So now what I need to do is I need to cut my angles, because again, it doesn't, unless it works out, it doesn't go inside there. So I just come in here with just a little bit of an angle. A lot of times it doesn't take much of an angle to cut them down. I'm just going to go ahead and cut angles on all of them and get that part cut. I can always, if I need more, I can always do more. But this will give me, a lot of times you take, once you've made a few, you'll kind of know, and then you'll be able just to cut it off a little bit and not have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so I've cut all my angles. Now I'm just going to take, and I always, don't ask me why, but I always start with my short ends. I'm going to peel the tape, and then I'm going to put this down. And again, we're going to burnish it inside. And then I'm going to do this next one. And then I'm going to put this down. Okay. And then I'm going to do the long sides. And then I'm going to do the long side here. And then we have a completely covered drawer. And a very sturdy drawer at that. It really does, they really are sturdy drawers. Okay. So, here's my casing. So here's the bottom. This is where my seam is. So this is going to be the bottom. And I'm going to slide this in, and it just slides really good. And look at, there's not a big gap there. Now, in the event that you want to cover, and you could actually cover these corners, say if you wanted to make them look a little different, you can take and use any pattern paper. Let's see if I can get some pattern paper out here that's not being used. let's just take, here's some circle-y stuff. Here's some straight stuff. Let me go get, I'm going to say a 1-inch, let's go with a 1-inch corner punch. Okay, so I got my 1-inch corner punch, and I'm going to punch, we're going to say 4 of these maybe. Maybe we want 4 to go on each corner. If that bothers you to see the little holes right there, there's a hole there, there's a little hole there. So if that bothers you to see those holes, take your corner punch, and I'm going to do it with the striped on the outside. I'm going to fold my corner. Now this is only a 1-inch circle, and I don't know, this probably isn't going to be a good idea. I got a feeling it's going to crack. We're going to see if it's going to crack though. Okay. So I've taken a 1-inch circle and I've scored it in half both. Yeah, see, there's white cracking in there. That's not going to work. So let's just do it. We're just going to do it with a piece of cardstock then. So let me do a 1-inch. Let me fold it in half this way. And then I'm going to fold it the other way so that my score lines match. I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to snip just into the center where they connect. And this is going to create you a, you know how I can show you. It's going to cover the corner. And then you can always take your corner and you can put this on and it will cover. Whoops, I'm not even in the camera. That's good. Oh, let's see. How can I do this to where you can see it good? It's probably going to be hard because it's red on red. Anyway, you can put a corner to where you don't see the corner. Okay. Now, anything you do to the outside of a drawer can change the way a drawer fits. Some people don't realize that a thickness of cardstock can make all the difference in the world. So this one here, though, when it goes in, you have a little bit, see that little bit of a distance in there? There. So you have that little bit of a distance. But the way to know if it's going to work or not would be to take, if you're going to put something on each side of the drawer, if you're going to, say, put pattern paper around the outside of the drawer, you would need to take 2 thicknesses of cardstock, slide it in here, and then slide your drawer in. If it goes easy, it'll work. If it doesn't go easy, then that means when you, by the time you put the cardstock on and your score tape or your glue, because it all adds enough of a difference that it can make or break a project. So this here would definitely fit. I could take, which is how I did around this drawer. This drawer had the striped going around it, and that's how I did that. So this drawer should fit. It does. It fits inside here as well. So if you want to have something go around your drawer, once you get the cardstock on it, then take it and put it in. You know, if it goes really easy, you should be good to go. But I never assume, because about the time I assume, something comes out screwed up. So that's where you would want to just take, I take a couple scraps. This is cardstock scraps. While it's laying on its side, I put this in here, and I see this moves very, very freely. There would be no problem covering, putting a strip around this, the outside of this drawer. And then for the casing, I think I'm only down to 1 piece of, here we are. This is all I have left. I have this 1 piece of paper left. So it's kind of plain to have the hearts on the outside of it, but I've managed to use everything else. That's my sticker sheet. That's that one. Actually, you might be able to, you know what? I could get one more out of here. The flowers would just be going this way instead of crossways. So I could do that because I only need like 5 7/8 this way. So let's do it. Do I want to do that one? Do I want to do this heart? Both of these are the same side, and a little bit narrower. But I need this one here, and I always, again, if you're going to measure something like this, you want to put it down and bring your ruler up from the bottom so you know. So this is a 1.5. No, this is 1 3/4. 1 3/4. So I need like 1 5/8. So 1 5/8 and 3 3/4. 3 3/4. 4 3/4 is 1. 5 1/4. So you would need 5 3/8 inches wide to make it. This won't work. Will this one work? Maybe not. I guess these won't work. I thought maybe they would work, but I guess not. They look like they should. Let's see. How wide is this? Again. Okay, this is 3 3/4, so I would want 3 5/8. So if I have a 3 5/8 is there. Yeah, we should be good. Let's try it. What the heck? I'm going to cut it. I'm really not real enthused about having this last piece of paper. I just don't like the way it looks. So we're going to go ahead and cut this piece of paper at 5 7/8 to go this way. And then, what did I say this was? See, I measure. I can't tell you how many times I actually measure a project when I'm doing stuff. 3 3/4. So I want 3 5/8 inches. 3 5/8. Okay. Let's just see what happens here. So this one will go on here. And then this one here, you know what? It's got a little bigger, but I can't do it now because I've already cut this. But if you were to cut this one at 3 although you know what I could do. What's on the back of this? Newspaper. I'm thinking I could take maybe, I think I'll make this a combination of the two. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my scraps. Okay, so I'm going to cut both of these. This needs to be 5 7/8 as well. By 3 5/8. Now the difference would have been, you could have taken 3 5/8. Why is this not? I got it wrong. Crooked cut here somewhere. What is this? 5 7/8. Let's see. And we want 3 5/8 here. My thought was you could take it and you could actually, this other one would have worked. I could have cut it at 3 1/2 and had a little bit more red, and it probably would have been fine around all of them. Okay. I'm one of these, I just hate to have, I don't like to have a lot of color in between. So then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut it down to, did I say this was? This should be, this is 1 3/4, so I want 1 5/8 on this one as well. So a 1 5/8 would be there. So let's take, get this paper in there. One 5/8 by 5 7/8. 1 and 5 7/8. So I'm going to take and put one of these on here. Again, your seam, there you can see the seam a little bit better. Right there. There's my seam. That's going to be my bottom. So I can put this on here. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. No, I'll do it with tape because otherwise I'll end up screwing something up. I just know I will. Again, I usually will use tape to go around the edges of stuff so that I can continue working and not have to worry about it. I'm going to do this. I will take a lot of times and put my smaller pieces together so I can run longer pieces of tape. Okay, and then I can do tape all at once. And I will say that I do like to have my edges stuck down really good. And so tape on the edges a lot of times is the best way to go. I suppose I'm working out of the camera, and oh, not bad. And this is white back here on the back side of this paper, so it's really hard to see. And I have this glare going on anyway. I really hope a new webcam will fix that. This webcam that I'm using is really old. So I'm hoping that that will fix some of the issues I have going on here. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my knife and I go down in between and just cut that way. And that cuts the long pieces that I have going across there. So there's those. And then these guys are going to go on the side. And again, I'm just going to butt them up together. My tape. And I'm going to run it down the side this way. And I don't have to keep flipping my pieces, and they're such small pieces anyway, so it just makes it so much nicer. And then on these, I am just going to take and put a piece down the middle instead of taping the little tiny ends that are left. I'm just going to put another piece right down the middle here. You could put a wider tape. You could put a 1/2 inch tape down the middle, or a 3/4 inch tape down the middle if you have it. Either way, wider works just as well. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And then again, I'm just going to cut this where it joins. Just cut the tape. That's all I'm cutting. There. So then I have both pieces done there. I have both pieces done here. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one, and I should have stood this on end. Let's see, can I stand in there? No, it won't stand in there very good. Oh, it will there. Okay, so I'm going to take... Now, I only peel one side, one piece off. I only peeled off this piece here because then I can set this on here and I can move it around until I get it just where I want it, especially since I like to have tiny bits showing, and then I can crease that side down. So that's down, this is up. So now I can take my glue, I can lift this up, and I can put glue in here to help hold this. Put my lid back on since this bottle is getting pretty empty. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back in here, lift this up, peel my tape off, and it'll still stick around the edges because I only put the glue in the center. I'm sure you can see that. It's only in the center. I'm going to stick this down, turn it over, and push down with my hands so that the glue gets distributed. Okay, so this is kind of a one-way pattern. So this pattern goes this way. So I want to make sure on the other side that I get it on that way too. Okay, and so a lot of times what I'll do, just to save myself any grief, I'll put an arrow going this way and an arrow going this way. So that means the pattern goes up and down. That way it's the same on both sides. The pattern goes up and down. I'm going to peel off one side. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, by peeling off one side, I can move this around to be just where I like it. And then all I have to do is take a tiny little stick over here. I can still hold it here, and it's stuck down where I want it to be. Then I'm going to put my glue in there. And you notice I'm not going all the way out to the edge because I don't want to be able to have my tape take hold. Okay, so I'm going to pick this back up. I'm going to peel off the sides, and then I'm going to stick it back down. I see I got some glue right there, which is fine. I can wipe it off. Okay, and then I'm going to put this down and rub it So it's on, so that the glue's on here. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Now, you could even leave the sides plain if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and stripe it on the side. What the heck? I'm going to use my scraps. Okay, now on this side, the same way, same thing applies. I'm just taking off one edge so that I can put this, and I turn it, this doesn't matter which way it goes. I turn it so I can use my thumbs to position it where I want it, and then I can take my finger and stick it down. And then once it's stuck down, I can lift it up and I can peel out the pieces inside. Oh, so I'm not in the camera good enough. Let's see. There. And then stick it down. And then it all sticks down nice and neat. So again, just peel off one side. I only peeled off this piece right here. Make sure that the tape section is down by my thumbs so that I can move it to get it centered like I want it. There. There. Put my finger out there and tack that down. I can move my thumb up there, as long as I don't move anything else. There. And then go ahead and peel off the remaining pieces and stick it down. Okay, so there's that. So now we have that in there. So we're back to this drawer again. Okay, so the drawer slides just fine. So I could take, and I have this strip left. Now let's see, would that look funny coming out the end there? Maybe not. You know what we could do though? We could make this. Here we go. We could take, I only have two pieces, but we could make this come across the end to where it actually comes down with your, so it matches the top. And we don't have, oh, I do, just a minute. And look, here's another scrap. So we can make the outside of the drawers match this, and we can make the ends match the top. So this, again, turn it. Again, I always measure this way, and then I hold it and I flip it up. So this is, looks like 3 3/8. So I'm going to go 3 1/4 on these. These two pieces are going to be 3 1/4. So let's go 3 1/4. And these pieces are small enough that the pattern direction isn't going to make any difference. So 3 1/4. It's going to go on here. Oh, I probably should have trimmed that down first. I should have. This needs to be 1 1/4. 1 1/4. So let me get a little paper cutter. I've been sitting here using my rotor trimmer. It's really hard to get small pieces out of it. Okay, so we want this to go down to 1 1/4, 1 1/4 there. Okay, that will go there. And we had 3 1/4, so let's do 3 1/4 here and 1 1/4 here. Okay, so there's our two pieces there, 3 1/4, 1 1/4. Then this, is this 1 1/4? 1 1/4, oh, just barely. Okay, so we want 5 7/8. This piece, 5 7/8, 5 7/8, and, you know, kind of did this backwards. I should have cut the 1 1/4. I don't think there's going to be enough to cut off of this, though, for 1 1/4. Not really. Very tiny sliver. To 1 1/4. Okay, that really was a sliver that came off of there. Tiny, tiny piece. Okay, now let's get some tape on these pieces. And this is where you could as well, you could go ahead and put down, got a little piece of paper sticking up there. You could go ahead and put down, put it on with glue. And that would work as well. Oh, that's interesting. That's got stuff on both sides. We're going to go this way and this way is what we want to do. So you want to tape. I'm going to tape these sides. And these, again, I'm just going to run 3 pieces of tape over the top of. So we're going to go 1. We're going to go 2. Just because these are so narrow. And I'm going to turn this over because I really want it on the edge. So we're going to go 3. Okay. And we'll go back and cut those. And then we're going to put the keys on the inside. Okay. So we're going to have 1. I have a tendency to keep moving myself out of the camera. And I apologize if there's been something I've done that leaves you wondering because I get myself out of the camera view. Okay, so there's one of those. We're going to run it down again. And I'm going to flip this around because I want it on the very edge. And then there's another one of those. Okay, so burnish. When I get done with this, I'm going to show you what happens if you don't burnish. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and you'll be able to see why the burnishing is important. Okay, there's that. I'm going to fold this so I can get an idea where I need to insert the tip of my blade. So there's that. Well, this will be easy to tell where to put the tip of the blade on this one. There we go. Okay, so here we have these 2 and these 2. Okay, so, and you could do this anyway. Again, I'm just pulling off 1. Make sure it goes at the top of my drawer. Hold it down this way with my finger so that I can get it right where I want it or where I think I want it. And there's that. And then we're going to peel off that piece. And then we're going to peel off that piece and we're going to stick it down. Let me move this camera a little bit more this way so it catches it better maybe. And we're going to burnish this down. We're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do 1 section. This piece is cut off, so I'm going to make that go up on the top so I can hold it on my drawer, get it where I want it to be. Okay, and then tap it down with a finger, stick it down. Come in here and pull off this piece. And then get back under here and pull off this piece. There, and smooth it down. Okay, so there's those. And I do the same thing on the end. Wherever I pulled that off at, I'm going to make sure. And these flowers are going the opposite direction. But you know what? I don't really, they're such small pieces. I don't really know that it's going to really be that much of a difference. So there is that. And then again, stick it down. Last time, peel off 1 piece. I've got it on the top, the sticky part on the top, so I can use my thumbs to twist it and move it to where I want it. Okay. And there. There. So now this can go in here. It's kind of cool. So the ends match the top. and the bottom. And then the sides match the side of the drawer. Pretty cool. Okay, so now, like I was telling you, if you decide that you don't like the look of that, now what did I do with that circle I cut out? Here it is. So I cut out a circle, and I cut one side of it to make it go so that it would actually fold in like this. And it will make a little cup that your drawer, it would go on your drawer like this. And then you can just take glue and you can glue that on. So let's see. Let me do, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half. You're going to find you really want to crease these good. It makes it easier to. Now, as I showed you, doing it with the pattern paper, it split, the paper split. So really, to do this, you really want to do it with cardstock. 1, 2. Okay. There. 3. One more. Okay. Okay, now we want to snip. You want to snip right through one of those creases to the center. That one's already cut. Okay, and then I have some glue. This is glue in a really fine tip bottle. Very tippy. These are fine tip applicator bottles. Now they've come out with these, which are tips that fit on other bottles. This is called a medium size cap. This fits on your glossy accents, your Beacon Zip Dry, Judikins Diamond and Glaze, Martha Stewart Glues, Ranger Stickles, Scotch Tacky Adhesive, Stampin' Up! Crystal Effects, Tulip or Scribbles Fabric Paint, and many more. And so you just take this tip off, this top, and you screw it onto your bottle. When I bought these, this wasn't out yet. This is really a great idea. Okay, so I'm going to take here, and I'm going to put glue. So when these go, they're just going to overlap one petal here. So you're only going to really want to put glue on. I'm going to do 3 of these 3 parts of the circle. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to leave that other one undone right now because it's going to go over on the outside anyway. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this down to where it goes like this. So it's gonna go over it like this, like this. This will come down, and then this one's gonna go over the bottom. So I take this one, once I get this on there, then I'll take this one and I'll put some glue on it, and it will stick down as well, just like that. Then you don't have the corners, then you don't see the little holes in the corner if they bother you. See that little hole? See that little hole? So if those holes bother you, then this is what you want to do. So again, I'm going to put glue on 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put this on the bottom. And it'll kind of fold for you. So there's those. And then see, this one isn't glued down. This one is not glued down yet. So once I get them set where I want them, then I will take and I will put a little bit of glue on there and fold that over and stick that one down. Okay, just like that. So there. Now you don't see them, and it kind of adds to the look of the drawer. And then your drawer, as long as you've got room, your drawer will slide through, and that's what it'll look like on the end. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to do it 2 more times. Put glue on 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. And then I turn, get out of there. And then I turn it over to the bottom. Turn this to the bottom. And start with this piece. And like I said, they will just kind of conform for you. That's why you want to crease them good, because it'll go down really easy. And then you want to put glue back here and check this one down. Okay. Oops. And then I see this one's going to do this. Okay, so I get this down and I have a little tiny piece right here. Can't see it very well. You have a little tiny piece here that sticks out that you don't want to stick out because it'll catch on something and tear open. So you just take your scissors and you trim it down. You trim it off, and then it doesn't stick out at all. And then you're good. Okay, so one more. I'm going to put glue on 3 of these, 3/4 of this. And then I'm going to make sure that that one piece is on the bottom. It folds to the side this way. Okay, and then this is down. And there's no glue on this piece yet. So once I get the 3 sides stuck down where they need to be, then I put glue on here and I flip this over. There you go. Then you see absolutely no corners at all, and it adds to the look of the drawer. But you're going to want to do your testing. You're going to want to stick, because there's 2 layers of chipboard under this, because this is where it overlaps at on the bottom. So you're going to kind of want to make sure, you know, you would put your drawer in, and then you would take 2 pieces of cardstock and you would stick them down in there and make sure that the drawer is still going to open and close easy with it. Mine is just fine. Although, see, it kind of, you know what, that might not be such a bad thing. I like that. Being how those corners are on there, it doesn't want to come all the way out, because what's happening is this part is catching on the part that's folded under. That's kind of nice, because then the drawer won't come out. It would. I mean, you could work it. See, I got it out. But because of this down inside here, right in here that you can hardly see, but it's there, it's catching these parts. And so therefore, when it goes in and it comes all the way through the other side, it doesn't come out. That's kind of nice. Like I said, you could force it out and make it come out. But just to pull it out, it won't come out. But yet, no, it opens all the way. See, that one did. And I imagine over time, using it over time, it probably would. But still, it's kind of nice. So anyway, there's that. Here's the other 3 that I have made. Trying to get one video done, I have made 3 of these, because I did 2 of them and I had no volume. I had volume and no picture. And then the 3rd one is this one that I did today. Well, or the first one I did that I didn't even do a video on. And then I will just kind of leave you with decorating, however you want to decorate them. But that's how you can build a Matchbox. And you can make them for, you know, they don't have to be all Valentine's. You could make these for Christmas and put something in them. Make a fancy one for somebody for Christmas or whatever. So there you are. If you have any questions, I frequently visit Country Craft Creations, Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. And that's where my videos are for. So I'm going to upload them, and they will also be posted on that group. Thanks for watching.